Okay, that's stupid combo. So stupid. Welcome to another Eternal Unleashed draft. The algorithm absolutely demolished my last video, apparently, so please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Let's get right into a draft. I swear, I see this rare so often. This card recently got a nerf, making it so it also picks a random bird, but I do still think it's a strong card. It's like a draw spell, except instead of 2-cost draw a card from your deck, which could be a sigil or a spell that doesn't really do anything, it's kind of like automatically draw a unit that can affect the board. Still pretty good card, I think, but I haven't played with it since the nerf. Insect Swarm, pre-nerf, that would probably just be the card. Well, I guess Aerial Deployment's one of the few cards that rivals it. I think I'm going to go with it. I haven't been able to play with it since the nerf, so I'd like to try it out. So cards I'm looking for here, I still think the Core Repairman's good. The Hidden Garret, the Shadow Relic weapon, I think is just on balance the strongest card here. And I think there's enough of a power difference. Core Repairman's just a solid common. Not quite willing to take this to keep us justice versus just taking the strongest card in the pack. Ooh, Praxis Duster's been a brutal card for me. So you've got another Core Repairman and a Desertion here. Once again, I'm going to continue taking the strongest card in the pack. The fact that this just becomes a 6/6 out of nowhere with the ambush, you almost always get the unit. You almost always get your value from this card. Okay, Through the Unknown got buffed. So it's fast spell speed now, can trigger Frenzy at fast spell speed. That's the big key there. And then a couple okay commons in the various factions. I think I'm going to take Minotaur Tailor. I like this card the best out of these various commons here. Although, Through the Unknown is nice. But I'll take the Tailor. Well, apparently we can just get as many as we want. So, I'm looking at Through the Unknown, Griffin Bomber. Consuming Greed is okay, but I'd rather take my first Through the Unknown, especially since we only have one relic here. Yeah, probably just the Griffin Bomber. And Griffin Bomber's much stronger now that it costs 4 instead of 5. Strongest card in the pack's probably Thunder Pop. But we could just take a Smog Monster just to stay heavier in one of the factions we've already picked. I guess we'll still just take the strongest card. So, Arrest, Backlash, or Sticky Fingers? Oof. Pretty rough packs now. Wow. And now there's just no good cards, really. Last Call recently did get a little buff, too, by giving the unit Lifesteal. Guess we'll take that. Wow, nothing for us here. This pack dried up real quick. Okay, we can take an Ice Glider. Minions. Wow. Geez, half of that pack was just garbage. Let's see if we can get a little bit better pack here. We have a sweet rare here that I haven't been able to play with. It's kind of awkward because the Elcian theme isn't Frenzy. It's mostly Unleash and Flying synergies. So this card you end up wanting to splash it and then can't be splashing double time. So awkward card. Prodigious Student's probably the card I'm looking at here. Either that or another Minotaur Tailor. It's either that or a Thunder Pop. Let's go Tailor. Not super sure on that pick. Kind of just picking what would I prefer over maybe the correct pick. So I have a Questioning Devotee. It is its best in Combre because it can actually survive with a combat trick. I feel like this could be fine. It's definitely justice intensive, but what else would we be picking here? Now we're seeing a couple time tangential things. This has been a rough pack, a rough draft so far, trying to figure out what the hell's open. Guess we'll take the time card. Oof. Streetwise Informant, but we haven't seen much Shadow. Yeah, maybe we start going into Combre. Sheesh. These packs have not been kind. Guess we just take a strike here. Really late strong fire card here. Just nothing for us. Pretty late Xenon Adept here. We could pick up that and potentially splash it like last draft. Wow. Oh boy. I guess Bren's Insight over just Chemtrail Burst. Unless we just end up Xenon. Like, what is going on with this draft? Our Shadow is still pretty weak after cutting all the chaff. We have a few good primal cards, but definitely most of our power is in our Combre. Not really the Justice, but we just have enough decent playables. I guess we take out the lab minion. But it's still, Justice is at least at the same level. No, it's decently better than the primal. And I think since we have a 4-stall in the pack, tough pack. We do have an Invoke card, but we haven't touched any fire. And even still, this is one of the weaker ones where the strongest cards in this pack, I would say, are Kickflip Monk, the Yeti, Unseen Marksman, and 4-stall. So we could potentially splash the Marksman, but we have really strong time cards here in 4-stall and Kickflip Monk. So that's a tough choice because Kickflip Monk is just impossible to win in combat through. You play that on turn 2, it protects you for like the entire game basically. But 4-stall is just so unreplaceable for how good it is in combat situations. So we'll pick up that. Oof. So we're trying to splash Shadow for the Xenon Adept. That would be ideal. And we have a really good Xenon card here. Delith Free Prophet. Another Marksman. And just really solid cards just already in our factions here with Lotus Instructor, Dive Bomber, and Find the Moment. I think I'm going to make the same type of logic last pick where I'm going to pick the least replaceable card. We're going to take the rare here. I just think it's more irreplaceable than the other cards. So, tough pick here. We have an Eavesdrop, which will help us splash. Unfortunately, this does not overlap well. I'm thinking Last Light Refugee or the Eavesdrop. These have been tough picks. So we'll take an Eavesdrop, but not at all sure that that's the correct pick. Wow, Midnight Disappearance here. I think we just pick up that over another one of my favorites, but the double Shadow influence just makes it too difficult to actually play. Now really, we're looking at a somewhat decent splash of Shadow after all of these cards, so I'm kind of happy I picked up the Eavesdrop. So what, nothing for us here, just the Kasul Envoy. That's fine. Okay, a Prize Fighter, a Lost in Thought. We can take the Lost in Thought over just a mediocre 4-drop. Okay, another 4-stall, sure. Curiox's Hunt here. So Find the Moment or second Eavesdrop. Oof. We'll take the Find the Moment. I really want to play the shadow cards, but I want to end the Cold Hunt pack with at least one Find the Moment. Okay, we aren't playing any of this. Maybe there's a chance that can't even construct something. Okay, and just pick the last cards for the pack here. Man, that's unfortunate. Okay, cut all the random junk that made it into the deck. We won't be playing Display of Law since it's triple justice and we're splashing here. Argenport Adept. Well, that's pretty good. This is not good. We didn't end up with a lot of fixing, and we're already into pack 4. But I think we're kind of just so far down the rabbit hole, we kind of need to... I'm going to go for higher power level over consistency, over just a third Tailor. Like, that's what we're picking here if we don't take the Adept. Okay, this helps us splash, because it gives us another way of finding one of these two factions. So yeah, we'll take the Combray Adept here. That was a good pickup for us. A bunch of nothingness. You can just take the 5-drop over a Saddle Up. Yeah, I think we're gonna end up being more of a slow deck here. So this doesn't help us splash since that's our splash color. So we already have the Shadow if we're playing it. Skycrag Tome does nothing, so it's just a Midnight Tinker. Okay, Hour of Kodash here over second Griffin Bomber. Yeah, we only have one relic, so I'd rather prioritize that. Damn, Wind Screamer's still in here. So, another garbage pack. Just literally nothing for us. Wow. Okay, a Saddle Up. Who? So what? Primal is randomly open during the 4th pack? Wow. Another awful draft, I have to say. I have no remote idea what the people passing us those packs were in, what they were playing. We randomly saw like bursts of fire and primal and just swaths of packs with no Combray cards, even though it was open very early. Really tough. This is a train wreck. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. We have no fixing besides one Shadow Inscribe, and we're playing a bunch of Shadow cards. But this is kind of one of those ones where I'm just going for... It's a spectrum. Consistency, but less power, or more power but less consistent. And just because we barely made playables here, I'm going to go for higher power level and less consistency and just hope we get there. Game 1 with an incredibly bad hand. So you have literally no drops. Our first drop is potentially a 4-drop. Oh my god, what is this? We're on the draw here. We have tons of 2s and 3s and 1s we can draw that are justice, so we'll keep it. The bar is very low for me to keep over going down one card. Opponent taking a really long decision on that turn 1. Oh man, that's gonna be one. This is gonna be one of those torturous games where we get absolutely demolished, but our opponent takes forever.
Much later. much later.
wake up from my nap here.
Much later.
Okay, let's we're gonna get a lot of Valkyries and birds. Oh my god, baby. It's just okay.
We'll spray them all.
Um
We'll spray them all.
Okay, there's a bad one.
We'll spray them all.
Okay, at this point, let's stop being greedy. It's very tempting, but I mean, we have 2 legendaries and a rare here that are all just busto. Okay, let's attack like this. Let's go! That's justice! That is justice! Oh, man. It's shitty. I probably won't even be able to put that game into the video, even though we somehow won. Yeah, he went MIA there. That was the entire game. That's the weird thing. So no Justice Sigils, and Minotaur Tailor requires 2, so it's basically a redraw in and of itself. This is actually a good hand. Obviously, I would prefer this to be a better 2-drop, but... Okay, find the moment here. Liking that.
One last adjustment.
Nothing, you say. Okay, let's attack for 2. I'm gonna hold on to the eavesdrop. Man, the mirror match, really? We'll see if that ends up punishing us. But we'll go with the Combre Adept. Get our second Justice Sigil here. I don't want to use the eavesdrop and then we just draw the Shadow Sigil, especially when our deck's pretty weak. Really? Okay, I'm fine with that. Oh, okay. GG's. Well, so for those of you that didn't watch my draft video, the last one, you'll know how busted this is. They get a unit each turn. It's essentially drawing them to a turn, one of which being a unit, and let's just say they give good units. When we actually get to bounce it back and do that again, it's pretty good. Why does this card only give, like, legendaries? That's what it feels like.
Salt the earth.
How many legendaries has our opponent gotten from this? Let's just see. Let's just see what he gets. Oh. He only got a 8/8 flyer. That's it. Not a legendary. Can we get all of our influence besides the shadow, please? I mean, we just lose if we keep that, right? There's just nothing we can play. Sure, at least we have aerial deployment here. Hi. Okay, going down to 6 with one of my weakest draft decks.
Sure thing, boss.
Do you want another 03? Is an 03 better than a random card in our deck? Probably. Because then we get to scout 1 deeper. Good, and we're against an aggressive deck, so that's something.
Sure thing, boss.
We don't want a 6-drop. We only have access to 3 power. What could be the worst thing? Stonebreaker Bow? Well, that's pretty bad. We're so close. We're so close to just having another aerial deployment. So we'll block like this, and since this has Warcry, we really need to kill it. Yeah, this is just game. Easy game, GG. Hope we
We'll
draw
spray
some
them all.
bombs. Jeez, that's,
We'll spray them all.
Well, we aren't getting to that one, but... I wish this killed something with higher power than health. I feel like we're running into that more often than not. Okay, so we will be able to eat the 2-1. I'm sure he has a combat trick or something. Wow. Killing... I guess we do want to eat his unit, so I won't do anything just yet. Right, because we really don't want to play this. Why is he leaving up 4 here? Right, that's pretty sketchy.
These are perfect.
I don't know what's going on. But our main goal is we just need to survive till 9. Never before in my life have I wanted 4 sigils in a row.
Give them back.
Okay, great. Yeah, we get it. Your deck's good. Hey, that's the card I was saying would be the worst thing ever for us. So they had top common Stonebreaker. They had top common from, what do you call it? From Cold Hunt and Searing Fist and in a Stonebreaker bow. So double damage, but he doesn't have Overwhelm Soul Block here. Taylor, the summon effect doesn't do anything for us. Yeah, this is just about gonna be game here.
A good look on you.
She comes.
Oh wait, it has double damage. I mean, this game's over. I'm not gonna waste too much brain power on it.
What's the point?
Come on, OP. Let's go. We got places to be.
A good look on you.
Okay, so 3 sigils. He has us dead in 3 turns, so he can't even get there. Well, if we draw a shadow sigil, there's still hope. Oh, no, never mind. We're dead in 2 attacks. Funny. But yeah, playing this gets us back a good unit, but then we're just dead in the air with no flyers, so... How greedy can we be? This hand's just nuts. I'm being greedy here. We even still have a 1-drop. It's a pretty low curve.
I represent the Ori.
We'll take the debt since we don't need to drop the Tinker on 2. And come on, we have 8 sources of time in the deck.
Dad?
Meanwhile, the cards we're drawing are in 2 influence we can't even play. But no, there's a high likelihood we still have to draw a Time Sigil. I'll take it.
One last adjustment.
Okay, I mean, stolen augmentation is busted. It's a bomb uncommon, fair to say. But that wasn't like the worst case I've ever seen. It killed our 2/1 and it gave an 0/3 +1/+1. Hopefully the invoke he got wasn't insane. That was sketchy. Wonder what he's gonna choose. Oh, really? Okay, that's actually great. Gain 3 life after the 3rd time. That's fine. We can attack for 1 here. Is this unit or sight? So they didn't see the 2 spells we have, so that's good.
Diligence and practice.
Sure thing, boss.
Take second forestall.
One last adjustment.
The hell am I hearing? No good attacks here, because 1/4 could just block the 2/1, and then the required block could just be the Tinkers bouncing off each other. This has charge and ambush, so we could use it on attacks here, which is possible. He only has 2 power up. Yeah, that's probably fine.
I shall.
Yeah, I'm fine with take 6. And now we have a 3/3 on board. I'm hoping it lives this turn, and then we just keep up forestall. Okay. He might try to get greedy, yep, and kill something other than that. So this can target our opponent. So what, we can attack with both and everything bounces off each other? That is annoying. We could find the moment, but that doesn't really do it. You could double block the 1/2. So I guess we can just attack with both. We don't lose anything for this. And if anything, we want him to kill the Tinker to make Minotaur Tailor a 3/4. I imagine he'll just go, yeah. Okay. Well. Man. You remember Seek Power? The card we saw like 10 copies of every draft at the start, and now when we needed it this draft, never saw it. This is a smart move. I almost wonder if we just burn the Find the Moment. So we get to deal 4 to our opponent's face, essentially. I'm doing it this way because it forced our opponent to use premium removal on a pretty garbage card. Okay, we'll offer our opponent the same decision as before. So you traded Breach the defenses for Find the Moment. Our opponent's winning this. Okay, now you get to Forestall, and there's nothing our opponent can do that can play around this. Oh, that's a draw. Let's get a Shadow Sigil off the top. Come on. Come on, Variant. Swing our way for once.
Good look on you.
So this doesn't let us do anything crazy next turn. Griffin Bomber, we use the most power. This is a tough decision. Ideally, we want to give the +1. I mean, +1/+1's good on both these units, so let's just play you. It blocks well on this board. Our opponent's still got 4 cards in hand, and we're going toe-to-toe on the ground, but we're winning the life race, so... Okay, we're tapped out here, unfortunately, which I don't like. But I wouldn't be miserable if our opponent burned a combat trick or removal just to kill our Minotaur Tailor. If he has another Sigil, it's... Okay, that was really good for our opponent. Man, come on, man. Give us that Shadow Sigil. He has a Justice Sigil, we have the Shadow Sigil on the top. Okay, that's probably... There's no way to tell if was the card on the top of his deck, but it's safe to assume. Opponents had a pretty good, not aggressive, but grindy, whatever you call this 3-faction deck. Oh, man. Come on, aerial deployment off the top after this Justice Sigil, or Shadow Sigil. Okay, so that's just game. Sweet. Sick, bro. Yeah, our best bet is to just contract or Midnight Disappearance. I guess we can Griffin Bomber and have up Forestall. Although Midnight Disappearance, the Embezzler, when our opponent's so far behind, is not half bad. Another Forestall. Do we attack here so we can grow the embezzler? I guess that wasn't that great of a turn. Because we didn't get any attacks or get to do anything there. Yeah. Maybe that wasn't quite as good. Now we could attack with a force stall up, see what our opponent does. Because our opponent's gonna get a nice big swing in with that Cabal Embezzler's contract. So do we want to use lab minions or save the 5 health from the unblockable? Probably need to save the 5 health. I know that seems weird, but... Okay, hopefully our opponent keeps on drawing these sigils here. Okay, I'm not going to put the Griffin Bomber in combat, just because I don't want it to die to a combat trick or burn. And we can take 3 because we're just barely winning that. Barely winning that damage race.
Forward, soldiers!
What? I've never seen this card before. It must be a reprint in the Unleashed pack. Awesome! I said for our opponent to flood out, not us. Okay, let's see what we get off the top here. Come on, 2. Hopefully our opponent, we can just... If we get some good draws here, there's still plenty of good stuff we can do. Any of our...
I can get in.
That's pretty sick, but you aren't getting away with that one, kid. Okay, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Come on, man! We'll keep that in hand just in case he has discard. We have him dead if Griffin Bomber survives. Okay, so he has to be blocked. You can chump here. You can eat here. Now we're fine with all of this. Oh. Swap the power and toughness of one unit with the power and health of another. Okay, yep. And that should be game. No, our opponent has something for 1. Let's go. What does he got? What? We are 3-3, working incredibly hard. Oh, it's beautiful. This has been the most beautiful hand all day. Okay, that's stupid combo. So stupid. Just one. How are. You can trip and fall into gold, I swear. Okay, so we gotta keep here. Pretty rough, though. We have 2 uncastable cards. Yeah, we've been getting way more rough beats than that. So the fact that they got that tilted about it is... I think it shows highly on us.
Adjustment.
Okay, this is gonna end pretty quickly here, unfortunately. Our opponent's already playing a 4-drop. Okay, we do get to kill their Griffin Bomber. I'll take that. Because they do have... This counts as their relic, so they'd be attacking us for 4. Ooh. So, honestly, the Adept is just as far away as the Praxis Duster. Because we're 2 sigils away from this guy. So I'd rather almost give it to the Lifesteal unit. Come on, Shadow Sigil off the top. For once! Yes! For once! For once it gave me what I wanted. That never happens. Our opponent's just gonna kill it immediately with some... Oh, no. Well, that's convenient for our opponent, but I do think we attack through it with the Find the Moment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep up the 4 stall in case he has, what, Icicles? Giving any more health is just kind of greedy. And once again, we're going to hold this until we can get the 6th power. So what's he hoping? A double block here? But if we just go Taylor... Now he has to sack the 1-2, I'm guessing, is how he's going to do it. We're winning this damage race.
Frozen protection.
Okay, attack like this. And now 3 aerial deployments will most likely get us a bomb.
Them all.
Flying while you have a relic. Someone dropped. Sure.
We'll spray them all.
Sure. Oh, man.
We'll spray them all.
Okay. So, obviously, this wasn't nearly as good as usual, but the Highwind Glider does perfectly block the Griffin. So once again, I guess he's hoping for another double block here.
The price of progress.
Especially because our opponent has all their power up. Sure. It's going to be pretty good for him. They drew it right off the top. That's pretty funny, actually. Now, if we attack with this, it would just kill one of them.
Only the finest wings will do.
Guess let's draw 2. Okay, eavesdrop's really good. I'm going to keep Minotaur Tailor in hand. It doesn't change any attacks. So by forestalling him, it saves two of our units. That's really good, and lets us not discard a card. Yeah, that was really good for us. Now we can go this. We can eavesdrop our opponent here. Attack with him, because that'll kill one of them. Now let's play this guy, see what we got. Only want to draw gas now. That's busted. Okay. Yeah, so let's get the charge effect in with him.
If I must fight, I shall.
I assume block takes 6. Oh, nice. What do we want to do? Yeah, let's decrease the bird. Bounce back the Valkyrie. Now we never get the Entomb of discarding 2 and only get the draw 2. We literally played a 4-cost 3/2 draw 2, and now we're gonna get to draw 2 more with it. Man, love it. So I think we can just be a little greedy here. Let's grow our boy. We don't even care if he has a caloric mix. Sure. This giving it +1 health, he still can block and kill it. So that doesn't do it. We can attack for 1 in the air here. Now if we... Okay, so we can go... Oh, man. Okay, Taylor. +1 health and taunt. Hypnotic Elder. Stunning the 2/5. Attack with everything. He has to block this. None of the blocks. Kill the devotee. The devotee flips. Let's go! What? Okay, what do we got here? This is bad, but we have the highest... I think I'm going to kill this. Just Delph is that good, especially we get to play it on curve. And then any Justice Sigil unlocks the rest of our hands. You also have the most Justice Sigil influence in our deck. Interesting. Depleted there, huh? Okay, and look at that.
One last adjustment.
Now this hand's busted. 1 minute. Oh man, they got something really good here. But, well, they still can get the Entomb effect since it's not dead yet. So you have no buff spells that we can trade with the Tinker on it to kill it. So I think we just go our boy here. Our opponent, I'm sure, has a way to kill it. That's fine, because it will invoke when it dies. Sure, they traded premium removal. That's actually busted. Because now we get to go Adept. Okay, so we'll attack there since we can actually block. Now play the Adept.
This area is restricted.
Interesting decision there. So he could bounce it back and then Kodash Adept. We do want double time, but we don't need it yet, and then that gives us the 5th influence here. I think that's pretty good, actually. Yeah, and I think we just put it back now.
Sure thing, boss.
Awkward, because that's one of the things we wanted the double time influence for. So maybe we get a little punished there. 2 Grumbo's platoons. It's fine. The Adept can trade with both of them. And then we just get it back with Inseparable. It's not the greatest thing ever. Can we actually save it? I guess Saddle Up just saves it. And we'd rather trade Saddle Up than our unit just yet. And we gain a bunch of life. Yeah, this is fine. And who knows, maybe we want to get back Praxis Duster instead.
This is an outrage!
I'm fine with this. We are winning this damage race, sir. Oh wait, we need double time. Okay. Almost forgot. So a 4-2 is going to be pretty good. Do we just use Inseparable now? If we leave this guy back, that means it has to block. We use Midnight Disappearance now. It makes it a 2-1. And then we still have to deal with that stupid... What's its name? But then the 2-1, we just have a block with the 0-3 on. Lifesteal while you have a relic. That was a tough decision. Maybe I should have took the unit there. It was tough to say. But the Vermin's Feast is just going to be great. Oh, please. Please give us a sigil. That's really good. Okay. Swap of 1 unit. So I can swap the 4-5 with a 2-2. I hope this works, like I think it does. Choose a unit. Swap the unit. Swap the power and toughness of one unit with the power and health of another. So I want... I think I'm overthinking this. Switch their power and health. So now he loses theirs, and we downgraded his 4/5 to a 2/2. Okay, that was busted. 4/5 turns into a 2/2, and he loses his 3/3 lifesteal. Okay, so we can now press the advantage here, go Time Sigil, play Big Boy, attack with both. Now I think we're fine with that, because that kills Happy Harvester, and then we have 2 amazing units to get back. I mean, what? He probably puts my spells in his void. What does he get back? Breach the... I don't even know. That was a weird decision.
I help where I can.
Okay, that is good for our opponent. Wow. This is pretty nuts. I mean, we just load them up now.
Endless possibility.
This area is restricted.
We can just take another 7 at this point, too. Like, it doesn't even matter. What was our first invoke off Delith? I already forgot. Wonder what it was. We just don't even care. It's really good, but... like, don't get me wrong.
I won't go back.
Attack for 5. And now maybe Devotee bouncing back the Caldera Captain. And then we can hold up Forestall for a pretty big blowout on our opponent.
What's the point?
Yeah, I like this.
I don't miss.
I guess we just kill it outright. So we block like this, that way the Devotee deals damage. That, because if he manages to give it quick draw at any point, we're just in super trouble. And now she transforms. Let's go! That's it. This is the last game of the draft. We are 6-2. I'm doing what Solo does best. Somehow winning with garbage piles. We'll keep this. Like, don't get me wrong. The deck has good cards in it. It's just... The sigil and the influence we have is just not able to really support this, and then we're just playing a lot of stinkers too, so just not a winning combo. I'm already just over the moon that we somehow managed 6 wins. Okay, our opponent has a difficult decision here. I assume they're trying to decide how greedy to be. Pitch the sigil, keep all the cards, or what? What? That's terrifying. Wow, they pitched Alchemy Student. How good is their hand that they pitched Alchemy Student?
One last adjustment.
Okay, we get to go the sick turn. Well, not sick combo of giving +1/+1 to our lifesteal guy. Oh, I mean, we're just actively happy about this. Although we can't play it yet. And Taylor we play next turn becomes a 3/4. I think we need to not be too greedy. And a 3/4 on this board in our opponent's factions, this will be pretty good. He has to burn like icicles on it. Okay, sure, that blocks it. Let's see. An attack here, we don't get anything, he just blocks with the dinosaur. Oh man, this dinosaur too strong. No plays from our opponent. That's curious. So he could be representing disarm or some such thing, but we can bait it out with forestall right now. Let's do that, see what our opponent does. They did have a pause there. Okay. So we'll just use that. Okay, our opponent's got a hydrate. We got Hour of Kodash on top. That means they aren't going to get a sigil yet. And now we have enough power to play this with the forestall up for the caloric mix. Oh, okay, he has disarm. Prevent all damage, and that's not damage. Unfortunately, as the saying goes, screw beats flood here, meaning the person who just is screwed on maybe influence or factions wins over the person flooding out. And we're just giving our opponent all the time in the world here. Okay, so we can just give it to him and attack with both. Let's see. Does it matter? One of them still kills the damn thing. Oh no! I didn't play my sigil for forestall. Okay, that's a pretty bad punt. take 5. And now our opponent has board control. Oh yeah, this is just totally game. Yep. As they say, is it worth it to forestall? It's a pretty bad forestall. At least it trades with something, though. Eesh. I mean, it's only right after those really solid 2 last games that we flood out to end this draft. Sure.
One last adjustment.
This is insane how much we're flooding out here. And we just can't get the right influence. So we do have +2 maximum power, but we're still at 9 sigils compared to our opponents. Well, 4 there, but now they got the 5. We just need the shadow, man. 1/5 of our deck are shadow sources. So I kind of want to be greedy and save that for another flyer. He's in the flying faction. That'll make it a 2/2. I think that's fine. We need to get as much value from our cards as possible. We'll take another 3 here before... Now that he has 6, I'm still nothing? Okay. Use your backlash or whatever. Yep. GG's, my friend. So, I mean, that you could say that was still greedy, saving it when our opponent was tapped out and there is backlash in the format, but playing around 1 common, we haven't seen when we don't have a lot going on, so if he just played another flyer, we're then screwed. But yeah, this is obviously very clearly game. Oh. Do we have a flyer? No, none of this does anything.
This area is restricted.
That's a really tough call. I think it was a misplay considering backlash, for whatever reason, is heavily played in this format. So I think it was incorrect. I do think that was a mistake. He had no power left. I should have just removed the unit, and then we continue with the board stall until I drew the the Shadow Sigil, and then we could start coming back there with the larger units. Unfortunate. I think I kind of misplayed that game out, but we also were flooding. Anyways, the fact that we got 6 wins is absolutely insane with this garbage pile. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is like my 10th take on this outro. Nobody's gonna see anyways, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope I'll catch you on the channel for more Eternal Unleashed drafts. Peace.